Hey everybody, welcome to the Dad Challenge podcast. My name's Dad. Thanks for joining me. Today we're talking about this guy. It's called Beleaf in Dad, I think, something like that. So a lot of people sent me this video, so you gotta take a look at this. Let me know what your thoughts are. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna let you know what my thoughts are. So apparently this guy is considering taking down videos of his kids or something like that, and everybody's like, you gotta see it, you gotta see it. But then I have some other people saying it's not all it's cracked up to be, so make sure you take a little bit more of a deeper look into his channel. Now, whenever we start a family vlogger or anything else, we always take a look at their channel first. We see how many video views they have, how much money they've made, and all that kind of stuff. So let's take a look. So Beleaf in Fatherhood has 1.17 million subscribers, 461 videos. He's been around since 2015 and he's got 267 million views. Almost 268 million views. This guy has made bank on YouTube. Let's be real. You go to their shorts, he's got some shorts in here. He's got lots of shorts. So a lot of his video views do come from his shorts. Probably has lots on TikTok as well. He's got an Instagram here with 362,000 followers. Wow, this is pretty big. This guy's got a pretty big digital footprint. The video we're going to talk about today is respecting children's right, consent to video. My kids asked me to quit YouTube. And so it looks like, you know, over the past 3 weeks ago, he's got 24,000 views. 3 weeks ago, he's averaging around between 20,000 and what looks like 25,000 views. Okay, so this is, still has tons of videos of his kids on there. Okay, so there we go. My kids asked me to quit YouTube. That got 130,000 views, right? Which is quadruple what he normally gets, right? And then he did it, respecting children's rights, consent, and videography. That's the next video. So he did that one 4 days ago, and that's got 60,000 views. So it looks like he's jumping on this. I don't know if it's going to actually be that way, but let's take a look at his social blade and see what's happening. He doesn't gain subscribers that much, considering he has over 1 million subscribers. 10,000 subscribers in 30 days, 3.46 million views. A lot might come from his shorts. So this guy's still making, if it's not coming from his shorts, he's making a lot of money, okay? More money than most people make anyway. So it's not like his channel's dead, but it's clearly not making the views he once did. And his most popular video is my son's skin condition. That's nice. Bunch of a-holes who do this, okay? So we're about to dive in this video where he says, I took my kids' videos down for their respect for their privacy or whatever. But all his number one videos are his children. Dad cuts son hair, emotional. My daughter's birthday wish broke my heart, 2 million views. Comforting my son's tantrum. Already don't like this guy. Okay, his top videos are him completely exploiting his children, him and his wife. Comforting our sons after racial experience. So they're gonna just use everything. Okay, so I'm looking at this video that we're about to blind react to, and yet I'm seeing all exploitation on this guy's channel. So, okay, let's just see what he has to say, then we'll get into it.
I deleted all those videos off our channel because the children asked us to.
Okay, I just looked at your channel, and all of your number one videos are exploitation of your children. Did they not ask you to delete those ones? I guess we'll hear. I guess we'll hear it.
Welcome back. This go hard in it like that.
Why is there just a sauce on his desk? That's weird.
Okay.
Could you not do that before? Okay, whatever. Did he just do automatic blinds as a flex? Be like, okay, I just went. I have auto blinds. I'm better than you. I mean, he could be. He does have auto blinds.
Welcome, Black.
Welcome, Black?
So I'm here to answer the question why I deleted 300 videos off of my channel.
Did he? Yeah, I don't see that here. And unless he did it over 30 days ago, he didn't delete any videos off his channel. He probably unlisted those videos, so they're still there. So unless he did it over 30 days ago, which maybe he did. Maybe we'll hear that, but I'm just showing you what I see. There's no deleted videos. You would see that big red number if you deleted 300 videos.
I deleted 300 videos off my channel because my children asked me to. Mm-hmm. My oldest two specifically, Theo and Uriah. Earlier this year, they kind of, they just kind of seem a little bit more reluctant to be on camera. and you can just tell they didn't want to do it, man. And so
good. I mean, good. I'm hearing it. He's hearing his children say, you can tell they don't want to do it. It doesn't sound like it sounds like they said they didn't want to, and he could tell, which means that he understands consent.
I was like, hey, like, are you guys okay with being on camera?
You asked them when they were teenagers. Cool. Not when they're... I love how these parents look. I know, because I'm going to snark on this guy, because at first I'm like, hey, good for you. I was going to give him props, high five. But I just looked at his channel, and it's just like everybody else. He didn't take any videos of... He maybe took videos of those kids off. But if those kids are having a problem with you, why would you think your younger kids wouldn't have a problem with it? Take them all off. Wiener? Why do they always wait till they're older when they don't have a choice, when their digital footprint's larger than most people's, before they ask these questions, before they take the content down? Because the content might be down, but it's not down, by the way. He didn't delete it. He just just unlisted it. It can be uploaded everywhere else. Like, Micah Stauffer's videos, I don't know if you guys knew this, are still floating around. I have a link to one. That's like a Thanksgiving one. We're going to do it. But they're still out there. And I don't know if she knows it or if it's a glitch or whatever. Also, if you go to Billy, all her videos are still there. The internet's forever. And these parents are like, well, you want to I'll take it down now. It's too late, bro.
And I had to like really sit and just listen to what they were saying. And what happened was, and I knew this day was going to come early on. I would think about like, yo, one day these kids are not going to want to be on camera. And I was okay with that because I knew that from my experience.
Okay, sorry, I'll stop you there. Beleaf. I don't know what this guy's name is. So you knew that one day your kids weren't going to be on camera. You knew that. You just verbally said, I knew this day was going to come. So if you knew that day was going to come, then why did you expose their entire childhoods to the internet for the last, looks like 8 years? Why? You knew that. You hear what he's saying. I know everybody's looking for props, looking for high fives. Okay, and maybe he deserves a little bit of credit for at least saying, hey, I'm listening, I'm understanding. Great. That's more than most family vloggers are willing to do. Okay, but when you admit something like, I knew this day would come, I knew they wouldn't want to be on camera, then why did you force them to be on camera before if you knew this day would come? Like, that's why kids can't give informed consent, because they don't know the outcome of what's going to happen. You're sitting here saying, I knew what the outcome was going to be putting them on the camera, and yet you still did it. Are you really this dense?
Like what I saw was like, these people who were like on Disney, right? They grew up and they seemed like they didn't really enjoy their lives. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't. Most of them turned out to be like drug addicts, alcoholics. They go into the sex industry. Some of them are trafficked. Most of them hate their life afterwards. Most of them. Not saying all, but most of them.
Seemed like they were manipulated by someone. They seemed like they were taken advantage of by the system or something.
And I hope you say in your next sentence, and that's exactly what I was doing with my children. I hope that's what he says. Because I hope that's what he says.
And I didn't want that to be the reality for my children.
I know I'm pausing a lot, but he's saying a lot. That is the reality of your children. So I know you said you don't want it to be, but that's the reality you made for your children. Are you saying, do you not understand that? Okay.
So I very much was like, whenever my kids tell me that they don't want to do this, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to be on camera if they don't want to be on camera.
And I've heard every family vlogger say that exact phrase. When the kids say they don't want to be on anymore, well, take them off. How about you don't put them on to begin with? So they don't have to make that choice later in life and be guilted. Because you know how many family vloggers out there have had kids that I don't want to do this anymore and have been coerced or bribed or punished into continuing to do it. We've seen Ask Me Anythings on Reddit of children in those families who are forced to do it. Or they're guilted into it by saying, if you don't do it, then we won't be able to have this beautiful house or go on these vacations, blah, blah, blah. They have been, I can't wait for all these tell-all books to come out about these children, about the parents who force their kids to do it. And they all say this, well, in the future, when they don't want to be, that is so stupid. That's like giving your kid a tattoo when they're young and saying, well, in the future, maybe they can get it removed if they don't want it. That's silly. You're exposing your children to predators, parasocial relationships, to being bullied by their peers, and then you can say, well, later they can change their mind? Again, thanks. Thanks, parents.
And it started with Theo, maybe about 2 years ago. And he was just kind of like, yeah, I don't want to be in this video. I don't want to. And so I just said, okay, cool. Well, look, guys, we're going to be filming in this room. If you don't want to be filmed, don't come in this room because we're going to be filming in here.
That's fair. Unless the kid was in that room and they're like, hey, Theo, beat it. We're going to be filming in this room. That's a little different, right? Theo wants to enjoy. Also, imagine being in a home where you're like, you can't go places because you don't want to be in video. And they're like, well, we're here, so F off. I mean, that's super, super unifying as a family. Unifier. Just so silly. Well, that's what we're doing. So if you don't want to be, then... So basically what I'm hearing is he's telling his kid, like, if you don't want to be part of this, then F off. We're going to be doing this as a family. You go do your own thing. That's what I'm hearing.
And sometimes they kind of peek around a corner, and you could tell like they wanted to be a part, but they didn't want to be on camera. And so I was like, okay, well, you can learn some skills behind the camera. You know, you can be a PA, you can help lift the sandbags and all that stuff.
Oh my gosh. Is this guy literally just admitting that he forced his kids to work as a PA or setting up cameras or setting up microphones and all? I mean, there's nothing inherently wrong with teaching your children this stuff. Don't get me wrong. I love that kids learn media and music and everything else. That's great. But they're doing it to film you to make money? That's a little bit different. If you want your kids to set up the stuff and like make their own creative stuff, then I'm game. But not to be like, okay, well, if you don't want to be in front of the camera, well, then I'm going to put you to work behind the camera. Are you kidding me right now?
And the reason why I did that is because I am very much pro family business.
I'm pro making the kids work for free. Cool.
Though I'm all about autonomy. Like, you don't have to be a part if you don't want to.
That doesn't sound like what you just said.
But I am pro, like, hey, you're going to help the family because this is what we do as a family. This is our business, right?
Yeah. Forcing your kids. Holy, look at that rig. What is that? Like, you're going a little overkill for family vlogs, bro. You're filming full-length feature films or something? You can use your phone, man. Look at this camera rig this guy's got. He spent $200,000 on camera equipment. What is that?
If I was a farmer and I worked on a farm and there was work to be done on the farm, whoever was a part of the family would have to do that.
Okay, well, let's be real. Working on a farm is a lot different than exposing your children to predators on the internet. Okay, if I worked on a farm, of course my kids would learn how to work and be hard workers. That's a lot different than a media company. Okay, a lot different. But if the kids are cool with it, that's cool. I mean, I would agree that's better than putting them on camera, and then he puts them on camera while they're working behind the camera. So it's kind of defeats the purpose. But sorry, no. If your kids don't want to, then they don't have to. Sure, but it is hit or miss, because I can understand people like, I want my kids to learn the work ethic and everything else, so I agree with that part of it. But at the other time, it just sounds like they didn't want to be on camera, so he forced them to work off camera. So no matter what, they had to be a part of this thing they didn't want to be part of. And again, it's a lot different. If you worked on a farm, that's different. Okay, these kids still have to go to school, they still do those things. Working on a farm builds character in a different way. So, but it's kind of, I get it. It's gray.
You know, and so we all benefit from the work we do, and we all get paid from the work we do.
Do your kids get paid? I hope so. Maybe they do. Okay. Do they have, maybe their education's been put away for? We don't know unless they come out and tell us what they do. But we have seen many family vloggers say that I'm not going to pay my kids. They're not owed this money. Like, lots of them have said that. And a lot of them spend every penny they have and it's gone before their kids would ever age out of this. Right? We've only seen a few whose kids kind of age out of the system, and the ones that we have seen aged out of this whole thing, 8 Passengers, for example, look what happened there. You know, you're going to talk, he doesn't got a couple kids about to age out of this thing. One of them left the home, who not aged out, just hated it, just left. But anybody who ages out of the system, they don't fare very well either. Okay, look, Sherry Frankie, all her money was stolen from her when she went to college. She did a video about that. Now, these parents live lavishly because they make tons of money on YouTube, and previously they probably had normal jobs, or no jobs at all, by the way, and didn't make that much money. And then when they make tons of wealth like this, they spend it like crazy. And by the time it's over, like, this guy's got 1.17 million followers, and he's got 24,000 views on his videos. And like weeks ago, he's not making a ton of money anymore. The money's probably gone.
So I feel like it's okay to say, hey, you don't have to be in the video, but you do have to help, right?
Yeah, no, you don't. I don't like that.
But when Theo decided that he don't want to be on camera, just because Theo has a thing about, like, you know, he has a thing about stuff, right? So
cool. Thanks for being super dismissive. He's got a thing about stuff. Great. I mean, and it's probably that Theo is on camera for some reason that his fans all know. And Theo's like, I don't want you to expose that anymore. But then he's like, things about stuff is what he says.
I'm not going to put his business out there, but he has a thing about stuff.
But you did before. Okay.
So I was just like, okay. At this time, he was feeling a little self-conscious. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, you don't have to be on camera.
But.
And then what happened was we do homeschool, but sometimes our kids go to enrichment programs. And that's when, like, they may go, a couple days a week, go for a few hours and go hang out with some other kids and learn from like a more traditional setting.
Socializing your children.
And some of the people from the schools recognized them and knew who they were already. And Theo and Uriah being in the situation for the first time didn't like that.
I'm glad he's admitting this. This is a very, very, very big pivotal moment in his children's lives. They don't like being recognized. And there it is, everybody. Your kids who you're putting on the internet, all these people that I cover, and a lot of them have newborns right now, okay? Listen up to this guy right now. And again, he's not in the right. His children are. They didn't like that. But did they have a choice? So when they went to this enrichment program to hang out with kids their age and the kids recognize them, and all of a sudden they're weary and they hate that, they didn't get to consent to that. That's where informed consent matters. So you can't tell a child, hey, maybe in high school, when you go to school, you might get recognized, you might get bullied for all this stuff. Are you okay with that? No parent will have that conversation with their children. They don't want to, right? Because the kid would say, no, they don't want that. But there it is. That's why informed consent matters. And that's why you're never going to be able to get consent from children. They don't know the outcome, nor will you, right? But they just roll the dice and they gamble that it might be okay. But we've never yet heard one that's like, I love my experience. And then going into the public, none of them like it. None of them.
And so Uriah was also like, yeah, I don't really feel comfortable being on camera either. And earlier this year, we put out a video, which they both were cool with us putting out, but they ended up like, I had them like kind of direct and produce. So I was like, hey, watch this video and let's mark all the points where you want to take this part out or you want to, just let me know which parts you don't want to be on the video and we'll take it out. And they end up taking like all the best parts out of the video. I was like, man, okay, well, I'll put it out anyway and see what happens.
Did this guy just admit? Oh my gosh. So he gave his kids the option to be in a video. So they're more comfortable. He said, okay, come in and edit the parts you don't want. But they took all the good parts out. So I left those in and then just said, let's play it by ear. Cool. Did you just say that out loud and not realize it?
No. But I just felt a little like gross. You know what I'm saying? Not because I knew I was doing something wrong.
You knew you were doing something wrong. That's why you felt gross. Okay.
Trying to take advantage of them.
Yeah, you did. You took advantage of them.
But I could tell that there was something in the way of connecting with the kids.
This guy's gross. I can't believe he just said that. So he gave his kids the opportunity. He gave them the autonomy to take things that they didn't want. And he said that before they put the video out. So they do all the work. They do the work. They sit down. They cut the parts they don't want. They're proud of their work probably. And the dad's like, nah, we're going to do it the other way. That's great parenting, by the way. You're gross, dude, whatever your name is. Gross.
Theo and Uriah. Uzi and I are pretty much game. They notice what we do. They're pretty much comfortable with everything as far as I can.
Kid's name Uzi?
tell. But we are always having conversations about like, hey, you don't have to be on camera.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, no, because you just totally lied. And lied to your children too. So when you say that, we're always having conversations with this. No, you're not. Because you just told us that you had a conversation, they agreed to something, and then you reneged on it. So, spare me.
But I knew from that point that I needed to have a deeper conversation, and that's when I started to talk to the kids about the videos that were up online, like all our old videos. And Theo and Uriah, our oldest two, who are now 10 and 9 years old.
They're not even teenagers.
We're like, yeah, I don't like none of those videos being up. Take them all down.
And look, he's frustrated about it. He's pissed about it.
So, mind you, at the time we had like 700 videos on our channel. And so I was like, okay, cool. You want me to take those videos down? And they're like, yes. So basically...
So he's lying to you right now, everybody. He didn't take the videos down. He unlisted the videos. He didn't private them. He unlisted them. They're still accessible if you have the link. Might even be in his playlist unless you fix that. Uriah's puzzle journey. There's still a video of Uriah. The best of Uriah. So he might have deleted these videos. He might have said he deleted them, but he's not, because look, here's and one of the worst ones, your kid in the hospital exploiting it. Uriah in the hospital. This guy didn't delete them. He unlisted them, and they're still available to watch. So don't listen to anything this guy says.
Everything before Theo got his hair cut.
What an idiot.
I took down. So Theo with dreads, like, you shouldn't be able to see those videos anywhere.
Really? So Dad cuts hair emotional. Is that this one? It's up, you dumbass! It's literally in your videos. So he's saying you can't watch it. It's right there. This is Theo getting his hair cut, the dreads, and he's got the music. So what is this guy saying right now? He's literally lying to everybody and trying to act like he's like above it all. He's like, look, I changed. I'm the best. You're a liar, buddy.
You know what I mean? Unless I set him back live recently because of the playlist or whatever. We'll get
okay, or whatever.
To that in a second.
It wasn't in a playlist. That was in your most popular videos.
So, that's kind of how we started the year. And, I was like, okay, well, I have to kind of diversify and do some different things. And it got really difficult financially for us, you know what I'm saying? Because we got this big office and we were planning on doing some stuff.
Hear what he just told you there. He is admitting things that I thank God he is doing this, okay? But he's not good for it, okay? But he's admitting it. We came into financial struggles because those kids didn't want to be in videos anymore. You've got like 8 other kids. And from what I'm seeing from your video content, right? Your newest stuff is still about your children. Uzi learns the meaning of his name. Why I let my son hit himself. Teaching my son about our faith. Chocolate babies earn screen time. It's all about your kids, your most recent videos. So what are you saying?
But I didn't let the kids feel that. I wasn't like, hey, really could use some help with, you know what I'm saying? I just was like, hey,
yeah, you did.
Money's a little tight right now. We just got to figure some things out. You know what I mean? But
so you're like, I didn't tell them we were having money struggles, but I said, hey, if money's a little tight right now. So don't talk to your kids about money struggles, okay? Let's be real. And these family vloggers will do that. That's how they coerce their children into doing things. Guilt kids. No kid wants to let their parents down. No kid wants to be the reason they can't, and their siblings and their family can't do things like go to Disney and have trips and have homes. No kid. And these parents will put that on their children. I don't care what you say. They all do. And this guy's admitting it to you right here.
No, we can do this instead of this, or we'll be able to do this and this.
See? That's gross.
That's kind of what happened. I deleted all those videos off our channel because
No, you didn't. I literally found it.
Children asked us to.
Why are you lying?
The oldest 2 asked us to. And so there's been this long conversation for about the past few years of like people talking about consent with kids, and kids can't give consent.
Yep. He's watched my videos.
And
yep.
Like, I understand that
consent.
Conversation.
Do you?
But parents can give consent for children. That's how you have like child actors and children in commercials and
He's right. And we've said this before. Yes, parents can give the consent for the children. That's exactly what they can do. I'm not saying it's illegal. I'm saying it's immoral to give consent to your children to being on the internet in front of predators. Like these people, the logic that they try to adhere to like this and child acting, it's similar, but it's not the same. Again, child actors don't have their personal lives put on camera, like getting their hair cut or going to the hospital or earning their tablet time or why I let my son hit himself. That stuff doesn't exist for child actors, right? Those kids are acting. They get to go home to a private life if they want to. Okay, kids aren't acting. Their personal lives are being exposed to the internet and strangers all over for your monetary benefit. And sometimes not theirs, just yours. Okay, so it's way different. Also, yes, you can make that decision for kids. Obviously, it's legal. That's why this is allowed to happen. But it is not morally or ethically right to do that. Cool? Awesome.
That's how it works, right? The parent would sign off for the child. But it gets a little harder when the parent is the one that is the employer technically benefiting off the child saying yes. And so essentially
the parent benefits from the child actor too.
Signing off and giving consent for a child for your own, benefit, right? And so I have been on several commercials, I understand child labor laws. I understand that you have to pay the children who are in the content.
Yeah.
And you also...
Only if it's in the industry. You don't have to do any of that. Now, I hope he does, but he doesn't have to. Illinois passed a law that you have to, but I don't know where he lives, but that's not a law on the internet. It's quickly going to become a law, thank God, but it's not. And up to the point 8 years ago when he started doing all this stuff and probably at his peak, there was no laws at all.
They only could work for 4 hours. Like, they work half days, right? Yep. That's why a lot of films you see back in the day, there were twins who were playing the same role, you know, because you can do 4 and 4 and that would be a full 8-hour day. But because we operated in that way, you know, I would kind of definitely limit the amount of time the kids are on camera and stuff like that and really try to respect them.
No, you didn't.
But
no, you didn't.
I can't do what I want to do.
Sorry, who cares? Then pivot to something you can do. Clearly you got the equipment for it. Clearly you can talk in front of a camera. This guy's admitting that he cannot achieve success without exploiting his children. That's what he's admitting to you right now. Pivot, bro. If that's him singing at the beginning of the video, guy's got probably some skills as a musician. Sounds like a great singer or rapper or whatever. He's probably great at it. Pivot, buddy. Do not admit that you need your children to make you money. That means you are a weak-ass dad who is more concerned with your pocketbook than protecting your children. And as a man, that makes you less of a man, by the way. Okay? That makes you less. So, I can't believe you're admitting this. I thank God he is so that we can get a glimpse into this. But he's admitting what no family vlogger generally would admit. Okay? Awesome. But you're also admitting that you're weak.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this...
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Relationship, this whole thing that we're doing, it is not about me being successful as a YouTuber or us.
Exactly what it sounds like.
Making money as a family if my relationship with my children is severed.
I respect that comment. I do respect that comment.
And we see now things start to come up about some YouTube families that didn't steward their relationships well. And there was abuse attached to the conversation.
8 passengers.
And there was all these other things that, you know, have seemed to be like, man, like, it's really sad. You know, it's sad to watch, it's sad to see.
Well, it's going to be your reality too, dude, if you keep these videos up that Theo and Uriah don't want up there. And they are up there, by the way. They're not deleted. You didn't delete anything. And if he told his children he deleted them and they're happy, oh, thanks, Dad, we appreciate it, we love you. And then they realize that he didn't, that means that they're going to have a severed tie there. That's going to be a core memory. You lied to us, Dad. Why would you lie about that? Why would you lie to your children? Look, I understand lying to your children about certain things, right? I get that. They're keeping them protected from certain things. They ask questions. They're like, okay, well, maybe when you're older. But like blatantly lying about something that they think that you did for their benefit, that's real chachi.
And I didn't want that for my family. So I just completely stopped filming, you know, for the most part. You know, I would make little shorts here and there. Some fatherhood break.
Yeah, so you didn't stop filming.
Downs, you know, but I wasn't doing a lot of content because I didn't want to dishonor Theo and Uriah, Uzi or Anaya, but they were mostly fine with the videos coming.
So you don't want to dishonor the 2 older kids, but you're cool with dishonoring the other kids. So he calls it dishonor, by the way. I didn't. He said, I didn't want to dishonor them by doing that. But he did dishonor them because he did not delete the content. First of all, I'll keep saying that. But he's cool with doing it to the other kids. It's wow, the like the irony in all this is mind blowing. Like the back and forth thing, the guy does not see how bad he is.
So that brings me to this point now where I'm just explaining why I took those videos down.
Oh, thanks.
But I want to go a little.
You didn't take them down.
And what just happened recently. So the kids started school again, homeschool, you know, still doing the Richmond program. And there's this rule that like, yo, you can't watch any like trash TV or like, you know, any shows that, you know, aren't educational or like aren't like introducing values back into your life during the week. And so they can watch educational TV, but they are also allowed to watch like our own YouTube channel.
I love it. We don't want you to watch Stranger Things, but you can watch your videos that you're on the internet. Cool. Thanks, Dad. We can watch our family. Thanks.
And they've been choosing to like rewatch our videos. And so I've been like watching, and they're really excited about the videos, you know. And so I just was letting them do their thing, and I wasn't paying any attention.
How are they watching the videos that you deleted, though? That seems interesting. How would they do that?
And we would still film here and there, but I still wasn't putting any videos out because the rule is that like I'll document stuff, but we won't put it out if you're uncomfortable. One of the things are
these the only two children that can you not document other things? Can you not document your life as a family and do Beleaf and Fatherhood things that without your children in it, blank their faces out? I don't know. Come up with different content. Like he is lost in his content without his children. And that is really scary, everybody. This guy's bank is on the line. And so he's going to make it happen.
We wanted to do during this time was to tell the stories, the old stories about the kids, because they're still really good stories. And so I've got this like rejuvenation for content that is outside of the film spectrum. So, or media, I'm sorry. So, medium, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So what I did was I took some of those old stories that we had before in our content, and we started to like make the stories over again. Let me find this paper. So it started with us telling stories, writing stories, children's stories. And you guys know that a long time ago, when Anaya was first born, we put out this book right here called It's Bedtime Now.
This guy's the chocolate babies and it's bedtime now. So he not only exploited his children for content on the internet, but he like used them to write books and stuff. That I'm not against as much, right? That stuff's decent because those kids, that's a story that's written in. If it's about your family, but it's like fictional stuff, that's great. That's creative. And I think that's okay. That's great. And so pivot to that then. Do that stuff. Get into cartoons and songs and everything else. That's great for children. And you don't have to use your children. You can probably still make money doing it.
And it's the Chocolate Babies and It's Bedtime Now. Now, this book is pretty much sold out. I got a few left that I'll probably give to like grandkids, nieces, and nephews and stuff like that. But I don't have enough. So this is our first iteration of our children's book. And I didn't want to just leave it at that. So RJ, Emily, and myself, we've been working on some children's books that are coming back. But because I didn't want to do it normally like everybody else, I wanted to tell the story of like, you know.
That reminds me, I should probably write a children's book about online internet safety. Wouldn't that be great? Any illustrators out there want to team up with me? I've got an idea right in my head right now about writing a book that a kid can read about the dangers of social media, but making it fun and friendly and, you know, exciting. And, you know, you can immerse yourself in this thing and you just like this whole world that's this, but like in the other side, there's dangers and it shows it all. And it's like in the end, it's just better to be safe on the internet and not put yourself out there at all. And if you see other families doing that, maybe encourage them to like keep your privacy protected and talk about the future, their digital footprint, like make it all about monsters and like dragons and like this adventure this kid goes on through his childhood. Like that's cool, right? Like this adventure he goes on through his childhood, and but it's talking about social media and the dangers of the new childhood. Oh, that's cool. I need an illustrator. Anybody? I know an illustrator actually. And he's one of the best artists I've ever seen in my life. He's so good. Anyway, that's my idea.
Some of our famous moments. So we had these sketches that RJ worked on.
RJ is a great artist. Wow.
And he put them together, and they were coming out.
Wow, that's good.
Really, really dope. And then, you know, we did more with them, right? He made
this guy just like went from this like, hey, look what we're doing now, buy our book.
Like even bigger sketches.
Again, cool. Do that then. That's great. Pivot.
Right. And then we made a draft, and then, you know, we got like proofs of the book, and we essentially made a children's book line called Chocolate Baby Storytime. Chocolate Baby Storytime is a segment of my wife and I's How Married Are You podcast. And
of course they have a podcast.
I'm really excited about.
So this guy has pivoted. He has done everything. And he's still sitting here thinking, okay, well, I still need to use my kids.
What we have coming. But it's not just, hey, we have books coming out. Because we wanted to put out books consistently, the plan is to do them once a quarter. And we had to actually start a publishing company on top of everything we do now. And so we have...
No, you didn't.
4 books coming, starting in, I think, Q2, summer 2024. So it'll be 1 book over the summer, another book.
Who cares?
Now's your time just to like stay like focused and pay attention to what we're doing, because I'm like trying to take over, like I want to like Dr. Seuss this thing out and like.
So he's saying, and now it's just a big ad for his books. Okay, and it's great. I don't actually, the books is a great pivot, but I think this was a whole attention thing to say, oh, this is why I'm not showing my kids, and then he knew it would get the attention he wanted, so he could talk about his books. But he didn't actually delete the videos, and there's still videos where he said that, you don't need to be seeing my kid get his haircut. It's still all there, man. So he basically just lied, got the attention, and is now talking about his books.
I want to just leave the stories of old in limbo. But that brings me to my next point. It's time for me to have a conversation with the kids, right? So just to reinstate this, right? If you want to know any more information about our Chocolate Baby Storytime series, I need your email so we can keep you updated, okay? So make sure you click the link in the description and sign up for our email list so I can keep everybody updated on what we got coming for Chocolate Baby Storytime. I'm really excited about that. But that brings me to my next point, and I wanted to make sure that I was clear on having a conversation with our kids about consent. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to have this conversation because I feel like it's extremely important.
How about you do a Chocolate Babies book on consent? That's another thing I'm putting in my book then. Talking about, that's a 2-part series, man. This kid's going to have 2-part series. The next one is being about consent, and not just about like consent, like multiple levels of consent as a child and what you're able to do. If you're a parent, like I'm going to do it for mommy vloggers, for parents who want to film their kids, take pictures for social media. That's going to be, the parent is going to be the bad guy here. Okay, and the mom's taking pictures and the parent is going to be the parent. All they're going to see is their parent is a camera. Their face is a camera. Hey, this is going to be a good book. Someone reach out to me.
Because what happened was the other day, I've totally made this pivot. I've invested in the books, and we have, 4 books coming, and we started a publishing company. I'm kind of like, okay, this is a way for me to pivot. It still honors the children. It's exaggerated. It's very, very big. The stories are bountiful, right? Like it's great stories, right? And
it's like 18 words in the whole book, so okay, I'm sure they're great stories.
Honors them, and they're excited about it, and they're happy to read it. But then I watched our children watching our content, and I was smiling. I was just watching
the content that you deleted.
Oh, this is so cool that they have this, and Theo looks at me and goes, why don't we make videos anymore?
I'd be like, Theo, you didn't want to.
And I'm like, what you mean I won't make videos anymore? You know why I won't make videos anymore, you know what I'm saying?
Well, then that just goes to show that kids are dumb. And they can't give consent because this is who they are. And I mean, I say dumb in an endearing way. Kids can't give consent, they can't make choices because they do stuff like this. And that's you don't see it. It's crazy.
And it turned out that they want to start having more conversations about like making videos again. And I just was like, hey, I'm not willing to do that I'm not willing to just start making videos again without talking to you guys about consent.
But you built your whole platform and wealth off of making videos without talking about consent. Okay.
So this Friday at 12 p.m., we are going to be talking with the kids. I am going to be talking.
Are you serious?
With our children about what it means for
You're going to do it on the internet.
Make videos and explaining to them what would happen and just having a conversation. And they said we can film it. So you will be able to watch real time me having a discussion with my children about consent.
Wow, cool. You're going to talk about consent with your children in real time on the internet. And you don't see the irony in that?
very grateful that you stumbled upon this video. And I thank you for your patience. I know when I'm built for, I know what we're supposed to do, but I can't leave my family behind and allow them.
Why would you have to make a choice like that?
Feel like I'm taking advantage of them. I just won't have it.
You did. Your whole channel is taking advantage of children. Still is, by the way. He didn't pivot at all. It's the same content. And the content he said to delete it, he didn't delete. It's still up.
So, yeah, man. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Protect your life, keeping up with popping. If you know someone, any content creator, anybody who's wondering about how they should be feeling about consent and YouTube families and
don't talk to them about it.
Families taking advantage of their children and all this other stuff, make sure you invite them to the link that's in my right here. Actually, I'll put it at the end of the video about consent that we're gonna have with our kids. I think.
Yeah. So there you go, everybody. The audacity of this guy. I thought this was gonna be a video where I'd be like, celebrate this guy for making great choices for his children. The audacity of him to sit there and lie to our faces and then not understand that you're bad, dude. Nothing, like, I love the idea of pivoting and doing something else and being creative with your children. I love that idea, right? And getting them off the internet. But you just one glance at his content, and that's absolutely not the case. He's basically sitting there all smug, lying to our faces and collecting on it. And then he's like, okay, we're going to talk about consent live on the internet with our children about consent, about being on camera. What an idiot. I'll be following this guy pretty closely now. There's some good stuff in there that he said, but then the other stuff negated the good stuff. It like offset the good stuff he said and made it worse. Man, what an idiot. Jeez. All right, everybody, take a deep breath with me. These guys. All these family vloggers are the same. And you know what? At least we know that they all wrestle with this. You know, even Jess fam, everybody who just seemingly doesn't give a crap about all this stuff, you know that sometimes it keeps them up at night. You know that the loud conversation out there keeps these people up at night. They can't ignore it. It's not going away. Lawmakers are getting involved now. They know. And the craziest part is those who know the danger of it and continue to do it and double down on it, that's what type of parents they are. And those kids are going to see that as they get older, and they are going to literally hate their parents, and their parents are going to deserve the hate. 8 passenger style, know what I'm saying? Anyway, thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks for being amazing, incredible, and valuable. Don't you forget that you need to be here, that you need to protect your kids, and that people need you around specifically. Someone probably has a crush on you too. And I'll see you when I see you.